Bounce, 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 baby. Yes, that is. Oh, my intros have gotten worse and worse lately. Well, it is. That is the thing for today. The theme. We will go for all the bouncing weapons that are reasonable. And by reasonable, I mean the following, okay? Take a look at this. So, over here we have bouncing weapons. Over here we have bouncing weapons. But what I want to go for is knives, the Death Spiral, the two guns, the Heaven Sword, and as the last one, I will go for Rune Tracer or its evolution. Now, I could go for the wands, I could go for the card, but to be honest, I feel they're just way too far off, right? So let's go for this one. If we find the card, that would be amazing. Lately, I've gotten a lot of those rare weapons, but I wouldn't bet on it, right? So let's start with Iron Blue Will. And let's get the level up right away. And, well, there we go. Whoa. Yeah, I think I'll just start with the knife. I would say that's decent. And the X, perfect, wow. So I think my goal will be, I'm not gonna evolve the guns, right? They will stay as they, oh my god. They will stay as they are. And that's a bit weird, actually. That's really weird. But the way I'll play this is, I will go for pretty much all the upgrades that I can get here, right? I will go, I mean, obviously, except for the guns, and I will fill out my passive weapons right now, just that I can get to the card or maybe bone, something like this, you know, something that bounces around that doesn't leave the screen. Carello, as I said, amazing if I get it, but I wouldn't bet on it too much, so let's go for, yeah, let's go for you. Oh, but then I should start banning weapons, right? Yeah, I should do that right away. Let me do that if I find a weapon that is common. I don't have all the common weapons in my mind. Oh, interesting. There we go. But that will make it just way more likely that I will get the actual weapon that I want. And by the way, I got a new monitor. I don't think you can notice it in the game. But yeah, it's a lot better, you know, in comparison, so that's great. I guess I'll just ban the Bible here. I got a new monitor, it has 144 Hz, I think, and I have a new microphone, not right now, it's still packaged, but I have to get it. It's this Blue Yeti or what it's called that streamers use. I didn't really want to go for one that is stationary in front of me, since I like to move around. You actually hear it whenever my headphone crackles. Not every single time, sometimes it just does it on its own when I move my head, which is quite annoying. But, yeah. Okay, the plan is not working out that I had in mind. I want to go for passive weapons now. But yeah, in the coming days I will install it, and I will, you know, hopefully I can make the settings and everything. I would really like to get the passive weapons, so I can start looking for the super rare weapons. But the bouncing is already insanely strong. Wait, I was talking about random stuff and things like this, but look at this. Ooh, Gatiamari is rare. I don't really want to ban rare weapons. It only has a weight or rarity of 50. Common weapons have a rarity of 100, okay? Twice the amount. And Rune Tracer, I might take that later on, as I said, so I don't want to ban that one. It has a rarity of 80. So that's common enough that I would say, yeah, sure, let's go for it. For some reason I don't find other weapons right now. But then again, I'm also still on the farming waves, not sure what this has to do with anything. I think I could go for spinach. As usual, I have nothing planned out. I honestly don't like this too much to think about the stuff that I want to go for. Because it's actually quite a lot of fun for me to get put into stupid situations, and then I have to deal with them. Now, whip is definitely one that is very common, and since I don't want to evolve the guns, otherwise they lose their bouncing effect, I will not take Tiragisu. I think that's kind of obvious. Ooh, I actually could maybe take it now that I think about it. No, but it didn't start with a wake. The thing is, if we would be living in a perfect world, right? Then I could go for a wake, get Tiragisu, lose it, get a max bonus that you can get on it, and everyone would be happy, right? And then I just get the 2 bouncing Arcana. However, most of the videos lately failed for me, because I couldn't get the Arcana that I needed for the video. And it's quite frustrating if you record for 40 minutes and then it just doesn't work. Yeah, let's go for Bracer, amazing. With the bouncing that will help. Yeah, as you might imagine. So, Unless I do serious challenges or I want to do actual top runs, I don't think I will bother just taking a wake for the bonus stats. There are a lot of bonus stats, like it's really nice to have, but I also don't want to end up in a situation where I just mod out all the other Arcana just to get the ones that I want. Though I might actually do that at one point. It's just, people on YouTube don't like the modding too much, and in the end the content, while it is stuff that I like to do, it's in the end content that is supposed to be watched by people, right? And enjoyed by people. I think the enjoyed part is the right one that I should use. The wording. Wait a second. Should I avoid picking up chests? Now that I think about it, that might actually be a very smart move to just avoid picking up chests. Since every single chest that I pick up, or rather every single weapon that I get out of a chest, right? Could be a triple chest, penta chest, stuff like this. Will just mean that I wasted a level up pretty much, where I could have gotten Carello. In some recordings that are only like 2 hours long or so, I sometimes get 2 rare weapons, believe it or not. And, oh, Fire Wand would be amazing here. Yeah. Let me think for a second. Okay, unless I see something better, I will go for Clover and Armor. Armor just to get the, what is it called, the Rune Tracer, you know. It wouldn't be needed. I think there would be better stuff for sure that I could take. But, well, thinking about it, is there anything better? I'm not sure. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, what passive weapon is actually good? Well, if there's a good one, I better see it very soon. Otherwise, I might just pick the Armor. Well, there's Clover, there we go. Nice. And I mean, Rune Tracer is pretty much the MVP of bouncing weapons, right? Pretty much the earliest weapon, people love it, it's amazing, so I will definitely go for it if I get it offered. Well, if I don't get Carello. I wonder if the bounces on Carello get increased by both of the Arcana that cause the bounces, right? That would be really interesting to know. Both of them mention Carello, and I wonder if it just calls the same function or calculation or whatever it does to adjust it to the new value. Or if both of them get applied. Man, that would be hilarious. Oh, I could also go for Skullomaniac. Yeah, you know what? Let's go for Skullomaniac. I like that idea. It's probably a very bad pick, but I'll go for it. And as I said, no more chests. Now it's time to walk over and get the empty tome. And there's Rune Tracer. I do have enough rerolls and skips that I'm not too worried that I won't get it later on when I need it. Brazier. Yes. I think my main goal should be to max out as many weapons as I can so I don't get these multi-offers. This is, by the way, also how you usually force a rare weapon. You just max out the opposite weapon type, so if you want to have a rare active weapon, you get all the passive weapons, regardless of whether this is actually the best choice or not. And yeah, then you limited the pool by pretty much half the amount of weapons that exist. And it makes it so much more likely that it appears. And then, okay, this is somewhat of a gamble, but if you have a lot of rerolls and skips, just max out the weapons that you currently have. Just that you don't get them offered here anymore. Right? Like, if you get the luck bonus and the random rolls, then they will be wasted if they hit one of the weapons that you own, and if it hits 3 of them, well, you just wasted 3 slots. However, maxing out all the weapons is also very dangerous, since, yeah, you might end up in a scenario where multiple times in a row, you only get stuff that you don't own. That's also not so great. I wonder how this run will do, how it will perform. I mean, I guess I could have actually went for Tiragisu in the beginning, but I kinda wanna go for bounce, bounce, slash. That is my goal. Yeah. I guess I could have ignored the bouncing for the Heaven Sword. Well, no, that would be boring. I want to have the full bouncing. Yeah, I'm happy with the stuff that I did. Ooh, minute 7. Usually a big problem, but you know, like, look at this, okay? It's just amazing to play a character as strong as this, where you don't have to be concerned about anything. Like, I get hit by the ghost there, and it's like, yeah, who cares? I'll heal it up. Nothing will ever hurt me again. So, oh wow. There was only one empty tome. Well, that's, I didn't expect that. Okay. But maybe I should start maxing out more weapons. The reason why I go for passive weapons is they only have 5 levels, so it's really easy to max them out. But at the same time, I kill way less enemies right now, so I miss out on experience. And that is obviously not great, right? You want to have as much experience as you can to level up as well. But man, I enjoy the bouncing quite a lot. There are so many weird builds that you can do, and I'm a bit sad since the new patch is soon coming out. And I kinda did nothing of the stuff that I planned to do. With the bouncing weapons, with infinity weapons. I pretty much did nothing of the stuff that I wanted to do. There were so many things that were discovered, and every single time I wanted to do something, I was like, oh my god, and now there's suddenly a later killing method. And then I just went into it and looked at it all the time. Yeah, I know I'm a hypocrite. I just said don't take it, and now I take it. But I'm also half split right now, semi-split. Because I want to see how many kills and how many levels I can get on this run. Like, this is actually a really solid general run. Weapon-wise, passive weapon-wise, that could be interesting. Like, you might notice, I'm killing a majority of the enemies soon after they walk in. Sure, I still have to max out a bunch of stuff, you know, to just have the power behind it. But aside from that, I'm really curious to see what this will end up with. Like, sometimes you stumble upon weird things, or let's say you do weird things, just for fun, just for challenge, just for video or so, and then suddenly you realize, wait a second, this is actually insanely good to do certain things. And just to make a reference there, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a modded video once with rarity, with infinite levels. I mean, I did a bunch of infinity weapons, right? But in that one, the enemy, the Reaper, sorry, not the enemy, the Reaper, got insanely staggered, so he couldn't move anymore. And I was like, okay, that is really an interesting behavior, but you can't get there in the real game, right? And then I eventually played it on Christine, and I was like, wait a second, you can get there. It's not that much different, but it's still a bit missing, right? You need a bit more. And when I was going through my videos and ordering them into playlists, I came across the survival run that I did a while ago. I think my first one, if I'm not mistaken, with Arca. And I remember that I was so surprised what's going on, since sometimes, only sometimes, the Reaper would get staggered and would stop moving for a split second while he walked through the Labora. And I was like, what's going on? I don't understand this. He shouldn't take knockback. In fact, the opposite should happen. What should happen is that he gets pulled in, right? Since he has negative knockback. And that was the first time I actually questioned what I was told so many times about the knockback. If that is really valid or something else is going on. And I combined the two. And as it turns out, that was the very first way that I know that can be done on any map to achieve an infinite amount of playtime. Now, infinite is always, you know, Toasty's infinite for sure. Well, maybe under certain conditions with lag, like a really strong extent of lag, maybe you can actually die. But let's say, if anything is infinite, it's stuff like Porta with the empty tome, you know. It's, what else is there? Toasty, yeah, Porta, Toasty. Those two I would say are definitely infinite. Missing, no, let's not count a character that you have to mod into the game. Again, not that I have anything against that, I always say that. It's more that if you do this comparison, or if you talk to people, and then you come up with a modded character, they're usually not taken too well, because if you go the route of modding, even if it's actually a character that is in the game, but only obtainable via modding, then they will say, yeah, but you might as well just mod negative health on you, right, for infinite health, or stuff like this. So that doesn't lead you anywhere, really. But yeah, that was pretty much the first infinite method that could work on any map. Whatever map you wanted to play on, it would work on any map. And that was amazing. Since up until that point, the only way to survive insanely long was also Christine. And you would walk down diagonally like this, on Ilmolese, on open maps that had no walls, that had nothing to block you, and you would just keep walking. And the chance that you would constantly freeze the Reaper was so big that people got records upwards of 120 minutes with that, you know, which is obviously amazing, but let's be honest, that is not infinite, that is just hoping that you don't die, right? Oh my god, there's a second bouncer. Oh, critical hits? Should I go for the crits or should I go for the bouncing for this one? It sounds so stupid to go for the bouncing now instead of the critical hits. Right? Or is it just me? Should I just go for the... Oh, this is a difficult... Well, actually, no. The hard waves that I want to kill with damage later on. Yeah, they come way later. So let's go for the bouncing now. And this is an evolution. So this should be the Death Spiral, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there we go. Okay, amazing. Dude, the 1000 edge with the bouncing is just crazy. Everything gets cleared pretty much. Oh, I guess the actual problem is it kills them so fast that I can't really use the bouncing. Wait, that is hilarious. That is straight up hilarious. Okay, let's go for Candelabrador here. And everything on my backside here is just getting killed immediately. I wonder if it's ever worth it to step back and let them walk in to kill them. Or if I should just always walk forward. Like if I walk back, does it just take away the kills on the right side? I tried this a couple of times because logically speaking, I'm like, hey dude, I turn around, there's a huge mob of enemies. I should highly benefit from that, right? But in reality, I think I always ended up with less kills than just walking forward. But, yeah, I guess I never learn. So, yeah, there we go. I don't think I'm one-shotting them right now, so I should probably focus a bit more on some other weapons. And I can't evolve right now, so I need more experience. The great thing about having Clover is you always get chests. Well, it's not guaranteed actually, but almost always you get chests. There's Cross. There's Spinach. Oh, the Rune Tracer is constantly showing up. At the same time, I really don't like Rune Tracer at this point. You know, you usually go for it at a point with... whatever, let's go. There's no bouncing here. There's no bouncing here. There's no bouncing here. Okay, I think I'll go down to maybe 3 skips. Okay, the next time I see Rune Tracer, I'll just take it. There we go. And I can evolve. Well, that is useless. Well, it's fine. Well, okay, I said it. I said it, I'll take it. There we go. Carella would have been really interesting to see if it behaves differently, because I have 2 Arcana that let it bounce. If it stacks up. But it's fine, it's fine. Let's just run through the enemies and see what happens. Oh! Well, I just realized that the guns can now pass through the blocks here. Hold on. There must be, on some map or another, a way to exploit that. There's no way that you can implement something like this into the game and it doesn't have a major impact. Oh my god. There is definitely something that you can do with that. Maybe here? No, that doesn't do enough. Wait, actually that might be really good there. Since they also get blocked into the walls. Penta chest? No, triple chest. Okay, it's fine. That's cheap, but it's fine. The main reason why I didn't want to have Rune Tracer, as mentioned, it's quite weak, right? Like, early on it's amazing to clear as many enemies as possible, but later on it's like, not that great anymore. Still wondering if I missed a really good power-up. A passive weapon, I mean. I think I have everything. Yeah, it looks good. I would say it looks amazing, in fact. Like, the only one that comes to my mind usually is Spellbinder, but I consider Spellbinder like a B-tier weapon. It's good for some weapons, but you really need a build that uses duration, or relies on one weapon that heavily benefits from duration, like Song of Mana on challenges, right? Aside from that, I don't really, see anything. Like, buffing the Rune Tracer here, that are already deemed more or less behind the other weapons. No, I'm not gonna nerf other weapons for that. Ooh, coming close to the 50k. Not bad. Yeah, we are getting pretty much 100 kills per second, I would say. That's 6k per minute, that is actually nothing. Oh, that's disappointing. Can't you just use wings and run a bit far? Oh my god, I could have had wings. What would I have used wings for instead? Skullomaniac doesn't make a lot of sense if you want to have more kills, as in, like, replacing it. Clover doesn't make a lot of sense. I lose Heaven Sword. Also, if I do get Slash, it would be horrible to get rid of the Clover, since it buffs up the crit chance by a lot. So, I guess... Oh, Spinach is also great. I kind of don't want to lose that, as well as Duplicator. Duplicator buffs up every single weapon that I have. And some weapons like the Heaven Sword get an insane buff out of it, since it goes from 2 projectiles to 4. Other weapons like Thousand Edge, it does benefit from it, it's just not that much. So pretty much what Thousand Edge does is, it has a certain time where it will shoot out all the amount that it has on the weapon. So let's say the amount is 12, and it takes 500 milliseconds, right, 0.5 seconds, to shoot out all the projectiles, and you go up to 14. It still takes 0.5 seconds, it just shoots 2 more projectiles. So it is a buff for it, it's just not that much, you know, it doesn't really matter too much. For guns, it's really hard to say what the impact is with that. But I mean, it's a perma-fire, right? The thing is, you can't be more fire than perma-fire, that's already going to the max. Yeah, I don't know. Death Spiral is really good though. Yeah, there it's insanely good. And I guess for Rune Tracer it's also decent, but look at the amount of projectiles for Rune Tracer that we have right now. Do you think the 2 additional ones are a major impact? Okay, I'm not saying that it's bad, I'm saying major impact, like maybe Spinach or Brazier. Or even Candelabra, right? Just hitting more enemies. Okay, why did I say that Duplicator is actually really good and then I just trash talk it for the next 3 minutes? Oh, the hypocrisy of decks. If you go through my videos, you will actually find a ton of hypocrisy. And that is not because I actually do speak against the stuff that I say. It's just that depending on the circumstances and depending of context especially, I have varying opinions, right? Very different opinions. But the thing is also, when I say something is top tier, like a top tier passive weapon, like let's say take Empty Tome, Duplicator, and Candelabra. Those are the 3 ones that I think are outstanding, and Empty Tome is by far the best one. So if I talk about passive weapons in general, I will always say Duplicator is amazing, it's great, and stuff like this, you know, just like with Candelabra. However, if I then talk about it in a certain scenario like here, then I can review it and say, okay, here it's really good, and here it's really bad. But the thing is, the entire summary of everything is still, well, yeah, it's a really good weapon actually. Do I have anything to do? No, right, I have everything finished. Right? Yeah, I took a short break, because I'm noticing my game is actually really smooth, but the preview of my recording software is like, yep, I look like 30 FPS, and I'm like, what? What's going on? But I think this is just a preview that is on a lower something? Scale, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I checked everything. It has 60 FPS, it has a bitrate of 40k, which I just recently realized in a lot of the recordings that I did since the new computer. Well, I guess I only did like 3 of them or so. But all of them only had a bitrate of 6k, which is like nearly 7 times less than I usually have. And I think you noticed that, you saw that in a lot of videos, that it looked blurry, it looked really bad, and luckily, I checked out one video on YouTube and noticed, okay, wait a second, I know sometimes it still can get blurry when a lot of stuff is going on, but this was really bad, it was the Toasty 200 attempt. And while I do stream, and you could say, yeah Dex, but if you stream, it's limited to 6k, yes, that is true, but the recording is limited to 40k. You can have this independent from each other, and I can go live and I can record at the same time. And that was the confusing stuff. I was like, wait a second, something is not right here. Something is really not right here. Should I keep wiggling, by the way? I think the wiggling is actually really good. This should also be enough, right? Like, I just want to throw some daggers into them so they bounce around. It's not even about the most efficiency with how I shoot it. Just that I get the bouncing effect and it kills a lot of the enemies. I love that everything on my screen is bouncing. It's like everything. Ooh, wait. Did I just take this much damage or did I have that already taken? Let's get NFT. So the one thing that I don't want to see, really don't want to see, is... what is its name? Vacuum. Yes. I don't want to get a vacuum. Now there is actually a world where I want to have a vacuum. Wait a second. Let me think about this. So once the witches spawn, I think all of them have set health. So you actually want to have as many levels as possible, since their health is set and you can just spam kill them with the bonus might that she gets. When do the witches start spawning? I think minute 22, right? So that means later with the stronger waves. Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay, let's just stay here. It's fine. Or I guess I can just walk back and forth, right? So let me check this out. So this wave is normal. So I will just walk to the right side for 30 seconds. And then I'll walk back so I get the vacuum. Well, I guess I don't even need it then, since the red gem will be to my left side. Yeah. But I also gotta make sure if the wave actually spawns at... what was it? 22 minutes. I think that's the first mixed wave where witches start spawning. I sadly don't remember what is on 26. 25 it's the skull and the bats, I think. Ah, but I think they scale with my level. Ooh, this is becoming more and more complicated to get as many kills as possible just for fun. Yeah. Good question, actually. I don't know how up until this date. I don't have an Excel sheet where I have all the numbers in from all the enemies. Like, I don't understand why I didn't do that so far. Well, I guess, you know, if you do... Oh, wait, they're already there. Did I sleep? I did sleep. Do they die quickly enough that it's actually unjustified to go for the red gem? Also, where is the red gem? Huh? Hello? It should have been behind me. You guys probably saw it by just pausing the video or just randomly seeing it, but I missed that. I have no idea where it is. Well, there's another vacuum, that's fine. So where's it flying from? Well, I don't see it. Okay. Oh, there we go. That was definitely it. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, exactly. Usually I do a lot of stuff with games, with Excel lists and preparing all the stats and stuff. Like, you know, just to have full knowledge of what's going on, what I can do, calculations and things like this. But yeah, here the focus has changed a bit with YouTube. But I'll get back into that. I'll make an entire list and sheets and everything about the game eventually, I think. I hope. I hope. So how are we doing kill-wise? Did it help for the witches? I would say it definitely helped. But it's also not like it's a huge difference, right? Like, how many levels did I get there? 30? That's 30% bonus might, but look at our might. So it went from 170 to 200. That's not a lot. Well, I guess it's still okay. Yeah, but nah, okay. Who am I kidding? It's not a lot. We went from a total might with the base value of 270 to 300. That's an 11% increase in damage. Well, I mean, even if you word it like this, 11% is actually not that horrible. It's hard to say. Spinach is, for example, a 50% increase, right? If you don't have any power-ups for might. That is a big number. This one here is more like, yeah, it's not the worst, you know, it's not the best either. Did I only get 2 levels out of the vacuum? That is something. Oh, but look at this. So, what is the kill counter doing? Let me check this out, right? What is it doing? I would say it's horrible. Okay, do I just run through them then? Wait, that could actually work really well. Since the knives, they constantly respawn, right? So the knives constantly get to bounce. And that pretty much kills no one. Okay. Well, I'm not sure if this one is actually better. I am just killing no one is the thing. Oh, and I nearly died. Yeah, I should be careful with that. Not that I need the revives, but like, yeah, mate. I mean, we crossed 100k soon with this build. I'm totally fine with this. Am I missing an Arcana? Oh, I can't imagine why I'm possibly missing damage. You know, from a certain Arcana that gives all of my weapons critical strikes like crazy. And critical strikes on this character are so good, since she has so much bonus damage, and it gets multiplied, right? This is not the one. No, it's not. Of course not. This will take a bit, I think. So I went without the Arcana for nearly 5 minutes soon. Yeah, that's not great. I really need a different chest color for the Arcana chest. Something blue, purple, whatever it is, I don't care. Just a different color to indicate, hey, I'm something special. In fact, make it for the evolution chests, just make them red instead, right? There, slash. Now I'm even more sad. If I wouldn't have gotten it out of the chest, I'd be like, yeah, see, but it wouldn't have made a big difference. Now I'm like, yeah, look at this, I'm just wiping out all the enemies, look at the kill counter. Oh. But, you know, I can't complain too much. Now I'm actually killing everything. Like, they are not touching me at all anymore. Wait, am I killing these ones here now faster than the witches? Because I didn't have the crit? Pretty sure I am, actually. That's kind of funny. Given that they are quite a lot stronger. Like, a lot. Like, I'm pretty sure the Medusas here are scaling with our level. And I think their base health is 3? Or was it 4? Something like this. So it's multiplied with our level, multiplied by curse. I mean, okay, everything is multiplied by curse. Even the one with the base health, the static health. But yeah, that's a very high value. That's like 800 health or so. Wait, why did I say 800? Or times 3, okay. Well, if it's times 4, then it's 1200. I actually really enjoy all the bouncing. The thing is, overall, the entire Arcana is not that impressive. Since, okay, look at the bouncing, right? You can't really identify the bouncing too much if there's a lot of bouncing going on. It just feels like we have a ton of cooldown, and we are firing out weapons all the time. But if you know that they are bouncing like crazy, it makes it so much better. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, I'm really sad. I'm killing the enemies so fast. Okay, so the green ones, they have scaling health, as you might notice. They are not dying. The witches, they have set health. Do you see how they just melt the moment they get hit by anything? It's kind of hilarious, isn't it? But yes, these Medusa, they're called Medusa for some reason. It's a head, you know, but it's just called Medusa. They are actually really strong. They have 4 health, so 8 on 100% curse, multiplied with your level. So they have right now 1200. For them I know it's 4. And the witches, what was it? I think 55, if I'm not mistaken. I would need to look these values up, right? But at least you have a direction. It's a set 55 times 2 for curse. So, wait, that should be 1.1k. No, I think they have 5.5 in the files, so here they have 55. Oh no, okay, I would need to look this up again. It's most likely wrong what I just said. Can we kill these guys, I wonder? Wait, we actually can. So, this is the full potential of the bouncing. Yeah, once you get to really hard enemies, it shows what weapons are actually doing really well or really poorly. I wonder which one will have the highest damage, and my bet is for sure on the 1000 edge. It is actually nuts since it constantly fires so many weapons into the enemies, which means it hits a ton of enemies. And that with the slash, which, to be fair, we got really late, but still, you know, it's a huge boost in damage. Aside from that, I would say Death Spiral is the next one, then Heaven Sword, then Rune Tracer, then the guns. Yeah, I actually do believe Rune Tracer has more damage than the guns. Since they don't critically strike, right? So they didn't get a buff from that. But let's see if I'm actually right. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. I really like doing these things, not to prove a point or say, oh yeah, look at this, I said that. No. I like it. It's like a small challenge for me to test what I know. And I love it when I check it out and I'm just like, what's going on? That is the opposite of what I thought would happen. Like, imagine the guns have now the highest damage somehow. I mean, we know that won't happen. But it would be hilarious to just be proven wrong so badly. Like, I think I remember this from the special projectile video. Okay, there we go. 1000 Edge, followed by Death Spiral, followed by Heaven Sword, followed by Rune Tracer, and then the guns. Bounce, 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 baby.